Welcome everybody back. Another episode of the Apartment Gurus coming at you right now, and have a buddy of mine on the show, Mr. Jeffrey Holst. Really excited to have Jeff. Jeff has gone from riches to rags and back again, and he currently owns over 300 residential units and multiple commercial properties as well. In February of 2020, Jeff climbed Mount Kilimanjaro and stood at the highest point in Africa, which is amazing. He's the co-host and founder of the Last Life Ever podcast, and he's passionate about helping people live the best possible versions of their lives. He's also co-host of the Old Fashioned Real Estate Show, where the hosts drink old fashions, bourbon old fashions, and talk about real estate investing. I love that. And Jeff, you're also a coach.
I am, yeah.
I just know that from knowing you and talking to you in the past. And so you coach. I believe you coach students. Do you coach one-on-one, or is it a group coach?
It's all one-on-one. And it's just I'm very selective. That's why I don't usually put it in my bio or talk about it. It's just like, if somebody approaches me about it and I feel like it's a good fit, I have something to offer them, and I like whatever they're working on, and I like them, then we work out a deal to work together one-on-one for however long it takes to fix that problem.
I love it. Yeah. And, note to the listeners, Jeff and I actually have the same performance life business coach that we work with. His name's Jamil Sayegh. Shout out to him. I know he's made a huge difference in your world and mine as well. And
Jamil's the reason I'm where I'm at now, for sure. I mean, this, the listeners probably don't. I'm literally sitting on the balcony in Puerto Rico right now. I turn the computer around, but then we'd never find each other back. So, but I mean, I'm looking out over this like turquoise blue ocean. And I really believe it's all because, Jamil challenged me to accelerate my goals. I wanted to be in the Caribbean in 5 years. Did it in like 9 months of working with him. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's just unreal how great he is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the power of coaching is really it's priceless. Like it's hard to quantify really, because a very good coach is going to elevate all of the aspects of your life and is going to bring you along in your physical health, your psychological health, your business, the health of your business, the vitality of your, of your recreational activities. Jeff, I know you love to play. You love to get out and see the world. You were in Antarctica last year. I remember following you on social media when you were in Antarctica. You climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. I mean, these are all things that, like, this is what makes life rich and wonderful to be a part of.
Actually, this year has been great for me. I've been to Antarctica, South America, Europe, and Africa all this year. So, and North America, of course, is, I'm there now. But I mean, that's like half the world, right? And since January, it's insane, actually.
Yeah. It's amazing. So, before we leave the realm of coaching, because I want to hear a little bit more about your story, when you say that, and I could say similar statements, I guess, about coaching with Jamil and what that's meant to me. I can really point to the quality of some of my immediate relationships, family, brother, father, those sorts of relationships, which are obviously the most important, really, to all of us, the people that we love. What would you, if you could like kind of put an ingredients list together for like the magic potion that he sort of creates for us, could you do that? I know that's kind of
I think it's tough, because it's one-on-one with him, it's going to be different for everyone. But I really think the hard substance behind what he's doing is he's forcing you to evaluate what's important to yourself and then helping you lean into that. And he does that from a place of like nearly pure love. Like he really wants you to succeed, believes it. And then he helps you figure out what it is you want, and then points you in that direction. And it turns out, like, if you're going after things that are important to you, and you recognize how important they are, and you lean into that, and you make that your identity, it becomes really easy to do those things, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you hate real estate, you probably shouldn't be investing in real estate. Let's be honest. You got to enjoy it, or you're not going to be good at it. And it's not about, that there's that old adage, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. It's not like that. Right. That's not really true. But what is true is it's a lot easier to show up if you're doing things that are important to you.
Yeah.
And if you're really clear on what the end goal is, if you're investing in real estate just to make a pile of money, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, right? But if you're investing in real estate because you see at the end of the day that you're going to have a lot of freedom to do the things that are important to you, like in my case, travel, but it could be spend time with your kids. It could be, volunteer. It doesn't really matter what it is, right? That you're really, really working towards. If you're using it as a vehicle towards that, it's a lot easier to pursue it. So.
Right. And, just to rewind a second, like what you said about Jamil coming from a place of love, like in a lot of business people's minds, that might sound kind of woo woo, or kind of like,
it sounded that way to me, actually, when I realized it at first.
Yeah. And I think deep down in all of our hearts, hopefully we all believe ultimately in the power of love and how it can transform somebody that you invest that love in, and that's coachable, right? That's willing to listen, willing to accept the love and the coaching, and sometimes the hard coaching, sometimes the encouragement. And so, the student has to be ready for sure. But when the student is ready and coordinates and collaborates with somebody like Jamil, who's really coming from that space, it can be really, really magical. And the investment of time and money that you make in these relationships, it's minuscule when you look at doing multi-million-dollar deals and getting six-figure acquisition fees and
all that stuff. Yeah. And I mean, I literally, like, when I first hired Jamil, I was like, I can't believe I'm spending this much money to talk to somebody. This feels really weird. I never had a coach before, so I can't really say what, other coaches are like, but something about him resonated with me. I think we were presenting on a panel at the same time. And so I got a chance to meet. It was an online panel, but we had a chance to sort of talk offline afterwards. And it just, I just went, I'm going to try this. And I've never regretted it at all. In fact, I've rehired him, twice now. And I don't know that I'm ever going to unhire him, because
I know,
it's
right?
like, I just feel like, and the weirdest thing is sometimes I don't even know what we're working on almost. And then I come out of the meeting and go, oh my God, that was amazing. Like, I've just learned so much about myself. And I really do think that's actually why I was saying that, at the beginning of the show here, that for my own coaching, I try to do it one-on-one, and I only do work with people I really like, because it's very, very much, I have to be able to lean into their success, maybe even more than what they do. And I think that's the magic of Jamil, right? Like, he wants you to succeed so badly that he's completely vested in it. He's completely on your side.
Yeah, I know. And it's a special, he's a special guy. It's a special relationship. And one of the reasons there are great reasons why people say having a mentor, having a coach when you're starting out in commercial multifamily, which is what we're here to talk about, is so key. And they're able to accelerate that curve and smooth out the curve as well, because they're going to keep you out of pitfalls that might really trip you up in a deal. And
right.
Yeah, and
that's actually a really good point, Tate. Like it's not just you need one coach, really, right? Like Jamil's really, really good, but he's not a multifamily coach. That's not what he does. He's a life transformation guy. He's about putting your life holistically together in a really good place. But you talk to someone like you or someone like me. If you want to make the transition from single family to multifamily, that if you need somebody like that's there and has done that, or if you want to just get started investing in real estate, you need someone who's done that can help you avoid those pitfalls. I mean, the mistakes that I'm assuming this is true for you too, but the mistakes I made when I first started, set me back years.
Yeah.
Because those early mistakes are the ones that slow you down so much.
Right.
And one of the biggest mistakes I made was just not starting on time. Like I was reading books and listening to podcasts and thinking about real estate and buying courses and all this stuff. But I mean, I just wasn't doing anything, right? I was just learning for years, like 10 years of that. If I just like bought a house, 10 years earlier, then I would be where I am now 10 years sooner. And that's an unbelievable difference in life.
Yeah. Yeah. And those those mistakes, imagine if you could go back, Jeff, and we've made them too, like some painful mistakes, but imagine if you could go back and instead of absorbing the cost of the mistakes, which can be like 6 figures easy, how about absorbing the cost of a $17,000, $18,000, $30,000 coach or coaching community or mastermind or something that would keep you on the straight and narrow, so to speak, and keep you away from those really costly mistakes that a lot of times can shut a business down. Like sometimes it's a matter of just of whether or not you're doing the business or not. And if you can invest in that paid mentor, and I'll just throw out there that I think it's super important that you develop a paid coaching, paid mentorship relationship, because those are the ones that really produce. They're the ones where ideally you're guaranteed that your coach is 100% in the boat with you and that you're in it together, right? Like
right.
I always get the feeling from Jamil, like he's in it with me when I have a victory, dude. Sometimes he's in tears. I'm sure you've experienced that too.
Yeah. Or if you have setbacks too, he feels that 100% with you. And the only thing I would say is I agree you need paid people in your life to do this stuff, good coaches, people with experience, people that are on your team. But be a little careful too, because there are a lot of programs out there that aren't awesome either, right? So, be selective. If you're getting ready to hand someone $30,000 or something, it's one thing if it's a one-on-one relationship where you like that person, but a lot of these higher end mentorships, they're group coaching, Zoom calls once in a while as a group, and they're trying to sell you into their program, and that can be good. You can meet great people in those things. Right. Just be selective, because if you get into the wrong group and you throw $30,000 or $50,000 or $100,000 away in coaching fees over a few years, and you don't get anything out of it, that's even worse, right? That's one of those costly mistakes you want to avoid. So you got to be selective, but you definitely need to develop a relationship with someone, and probably more than one, really.
Yeah.
This has been the Apartment Gurus with Tate Siemer. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and leave a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform. To contact Tate, go to www.investwithgreenlight.com for access to his investor portal and Calendly link. He loves to hear from you and thanks you for being a valued listener. Just a reminder that you are the guru. See you on the next episode of the Apartment Gurus.